You know, I think if you don't think about something long enough, I have a certain theory. It goes, if you don't think about something long enough, even if it at one time existed in your brain, you tend to forget about it. And it's called amnesia for a reason. And it might be selective in some people and not in others, depending on where you fell in the circumstance of the events that occurred. But anyway, I think it's just not taught. I think it's just not known. Because I think if more people knew it, well, they'd appreciate it. You know, we're on a giant rock, a big rock. We don't really know the full magnitude. Don't believe those people. They don't know anything. They just guess, make up things, and then tell you. And if enough of you believe it, then they take a poll and say that the majority of people believe it. That's how they operate. Anyway, we're on a rock. We do know that. And it's a big one, and it spins around. And we're in space. We're a spaceship, actually. That's what people don't talk about. We're a spaceship. Earth is the spaceship. Okay, moving on. We're on a rock. And anyway, if you blow a part of the rock, well, it goes somewhere. Probably to outer space. Well, it's a big hole in the ground now. And it's got to be repaired. That's what big bombs do. And so, just think of the earth as one big house. If you blow a part of the house, just because it's not the room that you're staying in, doesn't mean it doesn't affect the whole house. The foundation starts to get wobbly. That's what's happening. You know, there's gases in the earth's core that get released every time a bomb drops. And then there's animals that die. Think of all the insects, all the animals that you kill when you drop a bomb. It doesn't just kill humans. It kills a lot of different creatures. Creatures that are there for the ecosystem to help it grow, naturally come back to life. You know, actions have consequences, and we've forgotten that basic concept. You know, here's where I'm getting at. We need a department of peace. This is not my idea. I'd like to take credit for it, but I'll give credit where it's due. This is an old idea that a former congressman, when he was in Congress, suggested. I think when he was even a mayor, he was suggesting crazy things like that. He's been consistent. He was with the people from the beginning, and I think he's still with the people. He's no longer a Congress member. Thank goodness. They don't do shit. You can give them the greatest ideas on the planet. They don't do shit. They're a great deliberative body that spends time deliberating and then pretending like they do something and then deliberate more. Anyway, the Department of Peace, it was former Congressman Dennis Kucinich's idea back in the 1970s. So like I said, this isn't new. And the Department of Peace, would work to ensure that we have world peace. You know, it would create treaties and ambassadors focused on just peace. It's a good concept. We need a Department of Peace. If we have a Department of War, every country should have a Department of Peace to offset the Department of War. Because the Department of War just constantly wants to make more wars so they can profit and build new toys for their new wars. So you need something to combat it equally as big. A Department of Peace. We need a Department of Peace. You know, we're running out of time. And I heard that a big iceberg broke off. It's called climate change. If you don't change your way, you're not going to be here very much longer. I don't know if we're going to be here another 5 years. It's looking bad. It's looking really bad. And if Neanderthal thinking continues, it could be the prevailing order. It's not going to be a good outcome. You're already coronavirus. I heard a report. There's some rare disease that's killing the rabbits. They found it in a bunch of counties. And, they're dealing with a locust outbreak somewhere in the Middle East, or what we consider the Middle East. You know, there's some weird bug out here that bites you and you just die. Seems like a pleasant way to die. I mean, there's a million and one ways to die. That seems pretty pleasant. A bug just bites you and you die. Fair enough. Anyway, you know, this is what happens when you fuck around with nature for so long. It fucks around with you. So if the flooding doesn't get you, if the freezing doesn't get you, well, if the heat doesn't get you, if your stupidity doesn't get you, if your savagery doesn't get you, well, if your bad eating habits don't get you, when you consume dead flesh, it's bad for you. So stop eating all meat. Plant protein is good for you. Meat protein is bad for you. I'm going to keep repeating that because you need to understand it like the A, B, C's, and D's, and F's and G's. You need to get it drilled into your brain. Repetition works. That is one of the principles that does work in schooling. So just a heads up. But yeah, we need a Department of Peace. We need something to combat the war boys. Because they're always looking for a new war, you know, so they can budget for new toys. You know, we got to stop blowing up our planet. We got to stop destroying the house. We only got one house, and we're all supposed to be caretakers of it. And if you blow up that person's side of the house, well, you think they're not going to be mad enough at you and want to come into your side of the house or blow up your side of the house? And you so go tit for tat. You want to blow up each other's houses. You know, it's all one house, and you're just chipping away at your own house and the foundation of it. We need the Department of Peace, or we need to kick out the war boys. Either way, something needs to give, because, well, climate change is going to be 100,000 times worse than COVID. COVID is easy. Wait till you see climate change. That's scary hours for sure.